Right guys, welcome back to the horror of video games. Today I'm talking again about Soma. Just to let you know, there are some major spoilers about this game that I'm about to discuss, so if you haven't played this game, I would strongly suggest you don't watch this video, thank you. In this game, there are many different interesting elements at play, and I thought I couldn't do justice to all of them in my review of Soma, so I thought I'd make short videos highlighting certain themes within the game. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the game presents the player with moral choices. Now, there's a scenario in the game where you're presented with a robot, and the robot is in pain, and it's trapped by something. The player doesn't understand what they're supposed to do. All the doors are locked in the area, and then there's a switch nearby. So you think, right, okay, so obviously the game wants me to pull the switch. So you pull the switch, and then the trapped robot, is then electrocuted and tortured, and you hear the robot screaming in a very human voice. He's in complete agony. Yeah, so I don't want to do that, so I'll just switch it off and stop torturing the poor robot. So the robot stops screaming, and you go, okay, so what did that achieve? So then you go around the level and you think, right, so maybe it unlocked a door or something, maybe it unlocked a new passageway through the level. So you have a look around, and it hasn't achieved anything. So you go, right, okay, so maybe I need to press the switch again. So you go back to the switch, throw the switch again, and then the robot is tortured again by the electricity, and he's in complete agony. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the robot there being tortured. Then I'm going to explore the surrounding area to see whether a door has been unlocked. So you go around the area, and it's achieved nothing. So the robot's being tortured in the background. He's kind of screaming. You can hear him in the corridors. And you think, right, okay, so no doors have been unlocked here. So you go back to the poor robot, and then you turn off the electricity. And then you think to yourself, I have just tortured this poor robot for no good reason at all. This entire exercise was absolutely pointless. And many thoughts hit me at the same time about this scene. I had to say this is a very provocative scene. It created many feelings of guilt in me. It created many conflicted feelings in me. And I thought, what is the developer trying to say with this scene? What are they trying to say? Are they trying to say the pointlessness of torture? Are they trying to make a statement about that? And it's quite interesting because in the previous game by this developer, Amnesia, the only way to progress through the game was to go through this torture scene and torture this poor person with a saw blade or something. Now, it's interesting for me because it's like the developer has learnt from this, and they've developed this imagery. They've kind of made the imagery more sophisticated, and they've done it again in Soma, but in a far more brilliant way, a far more sophisticated way, a far more intelligent way. That they've put torture into the game. Obviously, they've got something about torture they like in Soma. They like, the developer enjoys this as a mechanic or something, so I wouldn't be surprised in their next game they put a bit more torture in there and maybe develop it a bit further, which would be very interesting. So I just wanted to highlight this profoundly very interesting moment in the game where this activity of torturing this robot really does nothing. It doesn't unlock any doors, it doesn't reveal any keys to you, it serves absolutely no purpose in the game whatsoever. And I think Sid Meier was once quoted as saying that a great video game is something which presents the player with interesting decisions. Now, I would argue that that statement should be changed a little bit to say a video game should present meaningful choices. And I think great games, especially horror games, need to present players with these interesting, meaningful choices, these kind of moral decisions, these moral dilemmas. What are you going to do? And I really think that video games can do a lot more than just entertain the player. I think they can make the player think about issues within the world and humanity and what it is to be human and these kinds of things. And I think video games have the ability to talk about something more than just shooting something and just blowing something up. And I think moments like this in a game like Soma, and there are many, many elements within Soma which have these great meaningful moments. And I think it's really important that I break down Soma and highlight these very important, very interesting themes the game is presenting. And it's not really my interest to do endless reviews of games and and give scores out of 10 or whatever. It's more my interest to say, I like this bit, I like this bit, this is interesting, this isn't interesting, why is this not interesting? And why is it not interesting? Why don't I like this bit specifically? So my channel is kind of dedicated to highlighting micro moments within horror games rather than making a statement about the whole. I really have a great interest in the horror genre, in what it's actually trying to say, and I think horror is placed in a very unique position to try and make statements about these important themes. And I think Soma presents these themes very artistically and very subtly as well, which is what I was saying in the review. So in my next videos I'll be once again highlighting maybe a few more issues I've seen within the game, interesting topics to discuss and scenes which are very provocative, so hopefully you'll join me on the next video. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. You can tweet me at the Horror of VG. I'll see you next time.